Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. Everton have made this second signing of the transfer window in Arnold Danjuma. The 26-year-old has joined Everton on loan for the season. I think we've been paid. I think we paid him £3.5 million loan fee, which is paying for the loan. I don't understand paying for a loan, to be honest. I don't know what's in his contract. I don't know if that's just the way it is these days with loans. I just seems a bit strange to me that we're paying 3.5 million for him. Unless someone wants to tell me the reason why on the comments, then do that for me, because I have no idea why we're paying 3.5 million for a loan. Um, yeah, listen, if anyone follows me on Twitter, on Instagram, anything, you'll know my feelings of Danjuma back in January when he made a U-turn to join Tottenham instead. I don't think he was guided very well in that situation. It would have been nice for him to tell us fans, because at the end of the day, well, it would have been nice for him to tell us what happened, basically, instead of just talking about how much how happy he is to be at Tottenham. He didn't, and we've kind of left wondering, and probably was going to find out. Well, we might have not even found out once he left Tottenham, and he could have stayed at Villarreal this season. We might have never known why he didn't join us, but he's joined us now, and he's explained his reasons, and I get it. But I think, yeah, at the time I was very emotional. I think most Evertonians who really care about the club are, regardless if you go to the game, regardless how much you invest your life and time as for being an Everton fan and whatever. Like, we was all still emotional. It was a hard time for us last season, and it was added extra pressure knowing that we stayed up just about the season before, and it felt a lot worse this season, weirdly, even though Rafa Benitez wasn't here. And yeah, we needed a striker. I think that was the main reason with the anger. I think personally, if you look at it, you don't blame Danjuma to go to Tottenham. We were fighting for Champions League, got Conte at the time as manager. Why would you come to us when we're fighting for our lives? You're probably not going to play the style of football you would want to play. We're just trying to scratch out results. Maybe that's not what he wanted as well. It would have been harder for him to showcase his abilities last season, looking at it now. But still, at the time, anyone rejecting Everton like that, you're going in the bad book with me, and I was not a happy person, as if you follow me on social media and stuff, you'll know. So I'm going to be mature about it. He's gave his reasons, and I'm fine with it. And I probably had a feeling it was going to be them reasons anyway. But look, watching his interview, he seems ecstatic to be here. He keeps talking about the fans as the reason he came. And a lot of people say it, but it's the way he said it. Obviously experiencing himself on the sidelines, warming up when Michael Keane scored that winner, equaliser against Tottenham. He said it was unbelievable. He had to experience it for real to get it. And listen, he said a lot of good things, and if he thought that himself, or his agent thought of it, I don't know. But at the end of the day, once you're a blue, and you're in the colours of blue, and you're playing for this team, I'll back you, and I'm not going to give you a hard time when you first start playing for us. You know what I mean? You've got to set a win and all that kind of stuff. Only over the amount of period of time is when myself and many other Evertonians get pissed off, and we want to be ruthless. The board should be ruthless. The whole club should be ruthless of how they run, because I think we've been too nice and too, we just let things slide and blah blah blah. And this is where we are. It's where we are. So yeah, ruthlessness comes into every Evertonian's minds now. So like, if you don't play well for a certain amount of months, or maybe just a season, or we'll give you the season, and then after that, if you're still not performing, then we're like, you need to, I just don't think this is the place for you, and we'll tell you where to go, just like that. But listen, I've given him a chance. Still, this side isn't giving me massive confidence that we're going to do great things this season, or we're going to be progressive progressively better. I think we are going to be better. I think we will stay up next season. That's my early prediction. Um, Depending from now to the end of the transfer window who leaves as well, because you don't know. It's the Saudi Arabian clubs that are buying everyone's players and that. I mean, wouldn't want many of our players, to be honest, but you just don't know what will happen. But Sean Dyche, since he's joined us, made this club and team just start from fresh, which is the old style type of management thing to do. Is, you know, when you're in a club in crisis and the team's in crisis, then you start from fresh. And I would say he did that in parts, in certain ways. He made, you know, like a simple formation, a simple way of playing last season, because we was in such a mess. I don't think it was, obviously, I don't think it's ever right to completely change and strip back everything. You don't have time to do it. The end of the season or the last quarter or whatever, the last half comes thick and fast. So he's got, this is his first pre-season with the club. Dyson, you know, players like Danjuma, I don't know if it was his type of signing. Um, Probably a Kevin Fairwell signing, but listen, he spoke to Dyche as well, and you know, Dyche will have a plan for him. I think many modern day footballers now are versatile. They can play in many positions in their area of the pitch. Um, so you know, he's got that about him. He's skillful, Danjuma. He's got pace. You know, we've seen flashes of it for Villarreal in the Champions League and the Champions League team in the season, which is a big feat. You know, there's a lot of big players playing in the Champions League, and to get in that from coming from where he's, you know, being like from the Championship in Bournemouth when he played well there as well, is a big deal. Listen, at Tottenham last season didn't get enough chances. I think he had he had the choices between two clubs which were a mess, but in different ways, because obviously Tottenham was still high up. They should be. They got good players, but there was a mess. You know, they didn't end up finishing in Europe, I think, at all. So, and then there was us just fighting for our lives, kind of just taking everything out of what we love about the club and what we hate about the club, and solely focusing on just trying to keep this club in the Premier League, which obviously we did. And so you know, it's a role refresh. This could be a really, you know, it's a refresh for Danjuma as well. It's a whole season for him to showcase himself instead of jumping in halfway through a season like he did at Tottenham. So it might actually work out better for him as well, and we actually see flashes of him, of how he played for Villarreal. And he'll probably get a lot more game time than he did at Tottenham or a lot of teams. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I'm just saying we are in dire need of new type of attacking options. You know, McNeil sounds probably one of the players of the season last year. Damari Gray could be going. You know, I've seen reports about it. See, if you know me by now, I don't really do videos anymore. If I did in the past, then I did. But now, just there's no point me. There's plenty of the Evertonian YouTube channels that talk about this rumours, blah blah blah, and it keeps the channel going. I get it. You know, if it gets to a point where I feel like I need to do it, I would do it, but I wouldn't be. It's something I don't know if I could do, because it's just not how I want to report things. I think it's quite annoying to see that many reports of there's 100 players we're linked to. We'll get one, or we'll get one player who wasn't. Sorry, we'll get one player that wasn't even involved in 100 players we was linked to. So I don't really like reporting about stuff like that. I'd rather just be straight and honest. And when I get a good source like Alan Myers, Sky Sports, someone like that, then I will comment on it like now. Obviously, we've made an official sign, and so yeah, obviously we've, rumours of other players potentially coming in, flashes of it sometimes. Like a few days, it's quite constant on your phone that we're linked to this player, and then it goes away and then comes back. So I'd rather just wait. We obviously know Damari Gray's got offers. Potentially could believe, and I think he said something in an interview which was quite alarming in the sense of where his head is at. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's a refresh season. Dyche has got pre-season with these lads. You can actually stamp kind of what he actually wants from these players. It's a new start, and you just never know what could happen this season. But to me, I don't think we're gonna go down. I really fucking hope not. I really hope we don't go through what we've been going through for 2 seasons. To be honest, I'd rather have a mediocre season, but to also be a great season. But in every, you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, yeah, Everton also have had their pre-season friendlies. You know, I don't really comment on them games too much as well, because at the end of the day, you can play good football, you have good performances, helps. Your winning mentality comes into the season, helps. But there's other teams who've played pre-season, won loads of games, and then come into the season and absolutely fall apart in the first 5, 6 games. So I don't listen. It's just fitness test basically. It's nice to see some players link up and whatnot. Maybe get a few flashes of youngsters coming through like Lewis Warrington, Tom Cannon, which is his future at us is a bit lopsided at the moment. Potentially could be going out on loan again to prove himself. But you know what? Don't really want to rip into this guy too much. And I need to stop targeting players too much. But Neil Maupay will not be. Listen, I don't work in football. I'm not a manager. I'm not a coach. I want to see the training pitch every day. But Neil Maupay will not be a success at this club. So I think we need to get him out the door. And yeah, I think Tom Cannon deserves more of a chance. Younger, got more hunger and eager to succeed. Played well for Preston last season, and yeah, stuff like that is something I would like the club to make a decision like that, over. So yeah, there's some potential transfer rumours everywhere. I still think we need a striker, even if we keep Tom Cannon and Maupay. You would kind of want like 4 strikers, but in my eyes, you should have 4 strikers on a club. Um, you've got a youngster there, then someone who can come in when someone's injured, and then you've got like your backup for your main striker. That's how it should be in my eyes. But listen, at the end of the day, overall, the whole squad has got a bit of depth to it, and not just like players just coming in for the sake of it. Like Ashley Young, I don't even know if I've done a video on Ashley Young. Have I not done a video on Ashley Young? I think I have. Well, anyway, he looked great against Wigan. He looked probably the best player on the pitch. Shown 38. He still plays like he's 28, so I'm not even bothered about the signing. I think it's an actual decent signing. And yeah, he's experienced as well, and he still can play really good. So, and he can play whatever. I'll say left or right back, and on the wing potentially if it gets to that point. But yeah, up to now, not too bad. Bit of a steady start. Obviously, FFP and all other restrictions, and us trying to get rid of players to bring some incomings, is only the issue at the moment. But we knew this, we get it. I think at the end of the day, if we just got a better, bulkier squad, with players, Andre Gomez could come back into this team. Dyche hasn't worked with him. He might like what he sees in pre-season. There's some players there he's looking at and he's going, you need to prove it to me now. Because Dyche won't mess around, and we could see like the likes of Gomez playing for Everton again, which I didn't. When normally players at that age going out on loan, they don't normally have a future at that club they've been at. So, yeah, potentially a second chance for Gomez. Gabamin, probably not. I don't really care, to be honest. I think from what I can see in the reports is that he's got an attitude basically, and he just wants to get gone from Everton, even though we've been treating him well, and looking after him and stuff. But like I said, it's the media, you don't know how they're swinging it. But yeah, I don't think he has a future at this club. Mason Holgate playing for the Tranmere against the Tranmere team, with the youngsters. He was the only real senior member playing. So his future looks bleak, with reports of him potentially going as well. And yeah, so I said, it's all warm-up games. We've won 2, drawn the other one, but they're obviously more reserves and that. But yeah, it's nice to win, and it could benefit us. It just all depends on the type of personnel you have in it. But it should give us a boost of confidence. I think the the last remaining home, remaining pre-season games, or more of a kind of idea of where you potentially could be at. So like Sporting Lisbon, a good team, playing them at home, and you got Stoke City away. We've got Bolton on Tuesday. So yeah, I think the tests get harder each time, and yeah, we can see where we're at then. And so I don't know what the club's going to do. Yeah, we definitely need more cover in the midfield as well, centre midfield. Obviously, Wobie reports of him potentially could be going on. You never know, someone could just come in for the bid for him out of nowhere, and he'll get off if you make a good money for him. It's one of them now where we bought him as well, Onana, because he has the potential to be really good, and make a profit on him, which obviously eases the books for us. So that's, yeah, we're in a kind of a little transitional stage. But at the end of the day, if it makes the club better in the long run, and we have a better season than we did last season, then you can only be happy with that. We can't get too greedy and carried away. With the new stadium on the horizon as well and stuff. So, yeah, that's all I have to really comment on at the moment, to be honest. Yeah, and I also made up that Pickford really wants to stay at the club, where he could easily probably be in one of the top 4 teams. A lot of people overrate him. People don't rate him. I do. I think he's matured over the years in his performances and himself. So I made up that he wants to stay at this club, and stuff like that really should motivate the club and the team to do better, and do better things, and get this club to back where it should belong. But yeah, I'll do another video soon. I don't exactly know what it's going to be about. I am trying to work out of a plan of a better kind of narrative of videos I'm going to do over the course of this next season. So, yeah, I'll have to think. But I'll be on Twitter. I'm going to be more active on Twitter as well. And obviously the season's starting to come up now. So, we'll see. Yeah, there'll be a lot more me on your screens again, and also on Twitter. So keep tuned. Got potential news, what a potential opportunity coming up soon as well. Potential, and obviously if I find out or whatever happens, or yeah, you'll find out here first from me. Yeah, I'll see you all soon anyway. Have a lovely Sunday evening.